Shalom, welcome back to the Haftarah with Targum series. We'll explore the connections between the Haftarah and the Parashah. The reason for this is again because the Tanakh gradually gets deeper and expands upon the previous things, and so a thing is written one time in the Torah, then it's repeated again and gone more in depth in Nevi'im, and then tripled and gone to its full depth in Ketuvim. The sages would move from the Torah to Nevi'im and from Nevi'im to Ketuvim. So the Haftarah is from a portion from the Nevi'im that the last living sages and prophets made sure that we know which one corresponds with the Parshah. So the corresponding portion from Nevi'im to this week's Parashah is from the Sefer Malachi. So this week's Parashah is Toledoth, Ve'ele Toledoth Yitzchak, and it is discussing Yaakov and Esav. And so Malachi, we'll see, B'ezrat Hashem begins in the same fashion. So on page 393 in the Haftarot, with the soft cover print of the AHAVA Chumash, has the Haftarot printed in the back. So it says, Masa Devar Hashem El Yisrael B'yad Malachi. This is the burdensome message of Hashem the Infinite, the closing prophecy to Am Yisrael in the book of Malachi, where the Nevi'im closed, the final prophecies till Mashiach. So this is a burdensome prophecy from the infinite being El Yisrael to Yisrael B'yad Malachi, through the hand or with the hand of Malachi, because the Nevi'im had to also scribe the prophetic words in addition to saying them publicly before the nation, as Rabbi David Via, Rabbi Alan Schwartz via the Meiri explains. And so B'yad Malachi, in the hand of Malachi, and who is Malachi? We'll see now the Targum. So this is the Yitkere or the Yitkere Shmei, that was called his name Ezra Safra, was called his name Ezra HaSofer. Malachi, aka Ezra the scribe, the last living prophet. And he's writing in Pasuk Bet, Ahavti etchem amar Hashem, I loved and cared for you, did the infinite being. Ve'amartem, and you all said, Bameh ahavtanu, how did you love us or care for us? Halo ach Esav Yaakov, is not the brother of Yaakov Esav, essentially. Ne'um Hashem, trustworthy is the word of the infinite God. Va'ohav eth Yaakov, and I loved and cared for that which is with Yaakov. So here it's already speaking about Yaakov and Esav, these two giant nations that then became in modern times. We know what these two nations lead to. Rabbi Abraham Kalimi via Rab Moshe Shapir Zatzal explains that the reason for Esav preceding Yaakov is again like darkness precedes the light. The Rambam also says that they paved the way for the Melech HaMashiach, the real Mashiach, that the main religions in the world that spread throughout the world, they're basically paving a way for the real Melech HaMashiach, the real choice king crowned by all people freely. Obviously, because if it can't be by force, because then it's no longer a melech, it's now in the area of moshel. Basically saying, by Rav Moshe Shapir quoting the Rambam, by going out into the world and spreading religion or getting the conversation going, getting these concepts that there is a God and that there are laws and then there's better ways to live and things to avoid and things like that. And they get the conversation started, but because of the fact that many of the religions changed the Torah in the simplest sense, that they wrote things that contradict directly what is written openly in the Torah, which the Torah is preceding these religions. So it's just, I don't know like what it is, but again, in the simplest sense, that because they're going against that which is written in the Torah, the things that they teach cannot be correct, and they are not correct in their fullness. And that is what is essentially happening. They're getting the conversation started so that Am Yisrael and the real Mashiach in the end times will steer the world back to the correct truth, or the truth that is objective, that is for everyone, which is, again, the truth. Saying that in Hebrew or in Lashon HaKodesh is be'emet, with emet, with truth. And emet, truth, is lost in translation. Emet is the first symbol of the alphabet, mem is the middle symbol of the alphabet, and tav is the last symbol of the alphabet. Meaning emet is from aleph till mem till tav. the entirety of the alphabet, the symbols in their true forms, and what they depict, exactly as they are scribed perfectly on an authentic Torah scroll. And these are the things that are lost in translation to every other language, and all the other religions in every other language are never saying the truth, because literally the truth is only in biblical Hebrew and in Aramaic, which uses, again, same alphabet, same vowels. So the truth, the emet, is literally lost in translation. And basically, they're getting the conversation started around the world as to what is God, what is the plan for humanity, what is truth, essentially. And then the questions are begging to be answered. And the bigger the question, the more you need it answered right away. And all of those answers are coming, Bezrat Hashem. That is the Messianic era, when prophecy returns back to earth. And when you have a living prophet of God on earth once again, you have the answers and solutions to every single problem on the face of earth. Things that people couldn't even or can't even foresee. But once you have a prophet living back on earth, the game is over. But it's interesting, there was a time where there were living prophets and people didn't listen. Well, again, the lessons of Tanakh is so that when it happens again, to listen and to never wait till the last second and all these kinds of things. So the number one connection is speaking about Yaakov and Esav, which then became Israel and other religions that we are aware of. And there's many ways to even read this text, maybe. There could be like a positive spin to read it, any kind of text, and whatever it is. But Yitzhak, Rav Moshe Shapir Zatzal, saw the potential in Esav, the fact that he wanted to go out and to spread the word throughout the land. The only thing is the word that you're spreading and how you carry your own self. Like the messenger is important as well. So basically they are sent out into the world, and just like first darkness precedes the light. First the world sees obviously what it's not. And then based off of that, have an idea of what it then is. And then Ashurit, and then to be reassured of what it is actually that you already felt and knew, but you didn't know how to say it, or you didn't know that all of what you felt and everything that you realize is all backed up and the basis of reality and the foundations of the Torah. And it's all the things that we knew but are just sort of kept hidden from us in the world of information we've been sent into. Lacks the beauty and divinity that is so evident, and lacks the real alphabet. And once the real alphabet are restored, and the meanings behind these symbols on that basic level, now learning is a completely amazing new experience. You don't have a book to read, but you have these worlds and universes, these words to experience.